Yeah.
Yeah, we'll stop to the question number 5. Let's read it very quickly. We always read the question very carefully to know what does it need exactly. Here in the text, what does the image of a cup of literary of liberty mainly serve to emphasize? That means he's going to go to find for example, this cup of liberty, and to tell you what is the main idea used to describe. Number one, for example, here, what does this image is made of and what does it describe? That's what we need exactly. Now let's read it. Now let's find the answer. What do you think?
I'm still thinking of the answer.
I always find ideas it's not mentioned here. Around the image, we are not talking about the generosity of the union.
Yeah.
That means A not supported. Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
Now, the advances made by union in protecting the rights of former slaves. We mentioned in that. Do we have about the advances? No. Are we talking about developments, advances? So we have any changes
No,
of
no. No.
we not supported. The unconscious way in which the way many people accept the freedoms, they didn't mean
Yes.
that. What is that? So Paul mentioned that they were,
So B is correct. So the answer is D.
so letter C is wrong. So this is one not supported in the text. How about this one? Precarious nature of freedoms granted to former slaves. Yes, it's called about the nature, as he mentioned in this is part. You see, you're all the masters for the former. Hold to your lips. We will dash from you, leave you to the chances of gathering, dispelled and scatter the contents in some vague and undefined. So this means we're talking about the precarious nature. So letter D is supported. Yes or no? That's all right.
Yes.
Now let's go to number 6
Okay.
question. It's a function of the underlined. Let's read it. Now let's prove all the answers. Always in these questions, do not focus on the details because you need time to prove your answers. Is it definition to the term provided? Yes. I said the median wage is the wage. So explanation, what is median wage? So it could be definition. So it can be A. Don't make decision and leave B, C, D. But wait, to point out the median wage is an insufficient. I'm going to check. And no,
No.
that so be not supported. To suggest a
حتى
possible reason,
even C is not supported.
NBC not supported, and to provide support for the claim.
No.
Employment is not too evident or explained or paraphrased or anything. So delete the.
So A is correct. So A is the answer.
So read very closely. Remember, sometimes we can read a sentence before and the sentence of the question and sentence after only. That means I don't need to read all of this. But don't worry, Testmaker will help you. But very quickly. Now let's jump. Here text 1, text 2, right? The question, how would the author of 1 would likely view? So we need response, we need opinion, we need attitude. The conclusion drawn by author in the final sentence of 2. So we have a conclusion. He said the final sentence, so this is the conclusion. How text 1 will respond to this conclusion? That means I will read text number 2 first, and then go back to 1 to see what it could be. Now, let's summarize the conclusion here very quickly. Now, let's go to the answers. Remember, your time is your only enemy. Now, what do you think? Do you hear me clearly?
Still reading the text.
Now we need to read very quickly because we need time for checking. You will read all of these very quickly, and when you come to the conclusion, you can memorize. He said to overcome these problems. So this is a response for something mentioned here. What is mentioned exactly? Now here, is author number 2 agree?
No.
So, don't know, but it's not. Did he mention that because she knows the most depression treatments are insufficient? He disagree.
No.
That it's an ongoing research is necessary to develop. It's not enough. How agreement? Remember the reason correct, but it's not agreement. So A is wrong.
A is wrong.
Reservation. What means reservation? It means doubts. Because she
B is wrong.
basic ways.
It's D.
It could be letter B. Why not?
Okay.
Yes, reservation means it shows uncertainty. It shows it's not enough to say that your way is correct. So answer number 2 says is necessary to develop a more practical rapid acting antidepressant works. Text number 1 said this non-intrusive solution takes time, but it's much hassle covering the problem with medication. You know it. Text number 2, tell him no. Your conclusion is not enough because we need more researchers to prove that this is behavior can change. Feel it? This means this is way of curing or healing is not enough. So this means here it could be letter B. So reservation means he says we need more research. We need further studies. It's not enough. I doubt this way. But I imagine that B is correct until I check C and D. Confusion. Do we have anything about confusion? That he confused, he is not sure about his words? No. Because she feels that the drug does not need any modification. It's not mentioned here. So that means here letter C is wrong. Disapproval, maybe, but the reason she contends explains that the drug therapies are unacceptable. They didn't mention that. So D is wrong. Imagine. So B and D for the expression, correct. But the reason not concluded. So we don't have any evidence for the reason in letter D. So letter D is wrong. You catch it? So there is no evidence in the text, there is no any indication, there is no direct words or phrase or anything. It's idea related to the topic general, but not in the text. So we call it out of text content. So letter D wrong. That's all. Yeah.
Okay.
Now the next, number 8. The main idea. So we read very quickly and summarize through first reading. Come on. Now let's find the wrong answers. So is the Indian Reorganization Act is a policy, a way of thinking, in keeping with the view of the earlier Indian people themselves. Yes, he tried to explain that. Yes or no? Yeah, it is voice. So it is yes. So maybe A, but wait. The Indian Reorganization Act was written by Indian predecessors in order to preserve traditional. He didn't mention about was written by them. So letter B, not supported. Again, this act was created in the effort.
Even C is wrong. D and C are wrong. So A is the correct answer.
So not supported.
Yes.
That's right. So always drop
Mm-hmm.
until you find any evidence. Now we need to find any evidence or word or phrase to prove letter A. Let's see. He said here, this vision was shared by the US Congress when it passed, when accepted. You see, when accepted the Indian Reorganization Act. You see, and with this Organization Act, Congress renewed its trust responsibility to protect and restore our tribal homelands. So this is part support in the rain. Yes or no? Yes. So to keep it with the view example. So letter A support. That's fine. Sometimes the test maker paraphrase general idea already supported by words in different texts, not only in one sentence or two, but your job find the evidence but very quickly. Now, for the next, what is the reason? The narrator is walking along the embankment late at night. So are looking for a reason. Now let's find evidence. Do we have any word or phrase to say that he wanted to avoid meeting or avoid being with people? No. He was escaping the pressure. Escaping how? He mentioned here to share
No,
his.
he didn't escape. Nothing. So it's wrong. B.
What is it? He was returning to the quarters. Yes, he said here, I'm going toward my lodgings. So it's a letter C. He thought he was seeking more excitement in life. Let's see exactly, maybe because he mentioned here, I'm happy, I'm always humming to myself. But this is the reason for walking along the embankment. He said directly, I was going towards the lodgings. You see it? So he said it directly. So letter C, it is supported. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Now let's go to number 10. Let's see how much. Now I find the evidence. Number one, let's go. Find the evidence for the answer. The placement in the ocean, it refers already to the
Is
location.
it is it the is it
It's A.
A?
Why?
Yeah.
Evidence. The number of moving parts, he didn't mention that. He said, depend on the size of an installation and the location selected.
Yeah.
No. So number not. The number of research sites, of course, not mentioned. The total energy it generates. Do you have any evidence for it? No. So this maker was gentleman placement means the location already. So I'm going to read until I find something related to the question and then stop. That's all. Okay. Now the next one, number 11. Support is the conclusion. Find the conclusion first. Let's go. Now let's find letter A.
Is the answer A?
Answer A, wrong.
Yeah.
It's plus. Do you have another answer? Find together why be correct.
B.
Do you have any evidence that both of them were discovered to have lived in time periods separated? That is this mentioned? Of course not. There is no, I didn't mention about separation in time. So A, it's not supported. The average size of an adult varied greatly between 5 tons and almost 7 tons. Of course not. Why? Because already he mentioned here is partly based on the discovery of an almost intact arm bone that is extremely short like those of, and he mentioned here the skull bones from are oversized. Yes or no? In proportion to the body. Look, arm intact like those of this one, describing conclusion. So based on facts, we can conclude facts. See that? So the intact arm bone is extremely short. That means the skull bones are oversized in proportion to the body. Yes or no? Even though we have evidence related to the content, because we don't have anyone for letter C or D. Yes or no? Because the main point here is not about who prayed and what kind of the source. So letter C and D not supported in the conclusion status. That's why. So we always focus on the conclusion and find the content related to. What could help you find the evidence for the answer? Do you have any? No, so it's wrong. That's it. You understand? Hello. Number 12, please read very quickly.
Yes, I started reading this one.
So as we agreed before that, he said complete. Complete what? Complete this one. He said here transition word, for example. For example means I need example to prove a previous idea. That is, what we are seeing is huge variability within three populations over time. So we need ideas to prove that is. That's it. So I'm going to read to collect information and then going to map to find any evidence. Come on, have your time.
D is wrong.
Now let's find. Now what is the conclusion to support it? That variability increased is huge over time. So how can I say remain stable? But related to the main point.
C is wrong.
And here
D is wrong.
how? And decreased? How decreased when
No,
it's
it's wrong.
increased? But wait,
So it's A.
we need to go.
Increase.
Now for the red maple. So 10 years ago, 5 years ago. So 5 years ago here, it happened or not? So yes, so increased or not from 15 to 25. Yes or no? Okay, remember the time is inversed.
Yes.
It's increased, but this one, already we have huge variability. 15 to 5, it's a 10. But 5 to 10, it's a 5. And here is stable, no. Here, as 5 to just like not 10. And here from this one to this one, it could be, but here it's huge and already mentioned in the answers. Feel it? That's why. So letter 8 is correct. If he mentioned oak in the answer, it will be correct because you can see like big difference. It's not mentioned. That's it. Now the next one, very quickly. Now let's find it. So, read the voice. Earnings must be updated, not supported. Most sellers do not provide the statement willingly. Do not provide willingly. Intentionally? No. The document is required with any building purchase, or he mentioned demographic factors.
Demographic factors, it's A.
Where are they? Factors. You know, demo means people, graphic means
Mm-hmm.
so information related to the people.
Mm-hmm.
Where are the information here? As I mentioned here, any information about those people. For example, the part of the country where they live. Yes or no? Yes, or the number and the percentage of people who got those related to. Yes or no? So that is means
Yes.
we are
So
literally.
it's correct.
That's why, even though the test maker did not use a term including the text directly, but it's already explained. That's why we need to read more about the topics or the areas of knowledge required to your test. So that's why I focus on social sciences a lot. That's why. But if you find some difficult words like that, all right, you can use the context clues to help you, but be near to find evidence for the answer. That's it. Now
Okay.
go to number 14. So what conclusion means we need evidence. So your answer already in the text. Now let's go to limit and narrow your answer. He said about negative impact of tourism in Africa.
Is it C?
An increase in tourism would result in a loss of local culture. They mentioned that.
Oh,
If you find the evidence, you can say, but for me, I don't find any indication or something.
I don't know. Because I see here higher levels.
Higher level of what? Already here, limit or narrow your thinking. Look, he said, but heavy tourism traffic might have a negative on what? On the environment. And the cultural stereotypes could be exploited. Negative. The disparity between wealth and tourism. Wealthy tourists, as you know, like tourists rich, the workers are poor. So we know envy and hate and so exploitations and disparity, of course. Surface workers earning a modest wage. Remember, a modest wage. This word will be tested before. A modest wage that may lend itself to division. and the social friction. Of course, social science here, economical terms, as you know. This is one mentioned in the text? No. Most of income will not benefit? No.
No.
An increase? No. But individuals who work in the industry may have become resentful of visitors, as he mentioned here. Workers earning a modest wage, very small wage, may lend itself to divisions and the social friction. This is could build, or create resent, hate between the workers and the tourists. So the workers will not deal with tourists lovely, cordially, and sometimes they can steal from them or play tricks to kill them and get the money because they feel they are very poor. There is no inequality. This is why. As it mentioned in the text. Plus, we don't have any evidence for three answers. That is a good point from System Maker for this question. Now I'm going to send you a new link for the structure convention, the questions. Give me a second.